let's get right into these clip-ins. First, you want to start out by detangling your hair. I actually am natural. I have curly hair, but I did straighten it out for this video. And then you want to start measuring out exactly where you want your clip-ins to lay. Me, I like to leave some out in the back because I like to wear them up in a ponytail. So I leave a good amount of space before I start up my head with the clip-ins. And then as I'm measuring out, I make sure I do not go all the way from end to end. You want to make sure you leave about 1/4 of an inch on each side in case you want to pull it up so you can conceal the clip-ins. Here I'm just folding over the hair because I like to double up my clip-ins, and then this is going to give me one single clip-in. And then from here you just continue up your head, parting out from ear to ear. When you're measuring it out, make sure you're not going all the way to the ends. As you can see here, I'm just kind of leaving space on each side, measuring that out, folding and cutting, girl. And that is all we doing all the way up our head. We're measuring, folding, cutting, measuring, folding, cutting. Here we're going from ear to ear. These are going to be our longest pieces, and you just want to make sure that it's kind of even on both sides, so that when you go to clip them in, they're pretty much even. It's not going too far on one side. And then again, we're just measuring, cutting, measuring, folding, and cutting all the way up. And then once I get to the front, you're going to see me turn around so that I can kind of again customize them to how I typically wear my hair. I usually wear my hair in the side part. So here you're going to see me kind of measuring out how I usually would wear my hair and just laying the tracks that way. For you, I would suggest doing the same thing. If you're a middle part girl, just part your hair in the middle, and you would just need to continue to do even clip-ins from ear to ear, all the way through your hair. But this gives me a variety of different shapes and sizes of clip-ins here. Here I'm creating some 2-clip clip-ins. The ear-to-ear clip-ins are 4-clip clip-ins, and then obviously the bottom ones are 2 as well. And then I'm just taking the last little bit of hair that's left on the track, and I just folded that over, and that's going to be my longest clip-in. And this is what we have. So what you're going to need is a comb, of course, just to take care of tangles, scissors, obviously needle and thread. You're going to need some wig clips. I use the small clips just because I have thin hair, so I find that the small clips hold better and have less tug than maybe the medium or the large clips. And I just got these from my local beauty supply store. And then of course, whatever hair you're going to use. Now I'm just using pack hair just because I just want these to be some quick clip-ins that I can just throw in when I don't feel like doing my hair. So for me, for a full set of clip-ins, 1 pack is just enough. Or if I were doing bundles, I would do like 1.5 bundles. And also a bag. This is the bag that I use to keep my clip-ins in. If you've ever ordered from Lola Boutique, then you know that they come in these little, each shoe comes in these little bags, and I just keep these for random things. One thing I use this for is to keep my clip-ins in. So you want something that you can put your clip-ins in after you're done. So out of that 1 pack of hair, we essentially got 2 2-clip tracks, 3 4-clip tracks, and 3 3-clip tracks for a total of an 8-piece clip-in set. And most clip-in sets come with 7 pieces. So with 1 bundle of hair or 1 pack of hair or a bundle and a half, you should be able to get a full set of clip-ins. So let's get started. Here you just want to start out with your needle and your thread, and obviously your clips. Again, I use the small clips because I have fine hair. If you have normal hair, I would suggest using the medium clips. If you have thick hair, you would definitely need the larger clips because the smaller clips will not hold. Here I'm just starting on one end. I typically start on the end that is not folded. Here I started on the folded end by mistake, just in case you get misaligned. If you start on the end that is not folded, you can always refold the folded end. Anyway, here I'm just stitching the clip in directly to the band using just the loop method. Later on I'm going to zoom in and slow this down so you can see exactly how it is that I sewed the clip into the track, but essentially I'm just taking the needle and sticking it in between the combs. These have really small holes. I like to actually use a hair sewing needle and thread instead of a regular smaller, thinner needle and regular like fabric thread. If you were to use that, you can sew through the holes, but it's only 4 holes. Here I'm just zooming in so you can see exactly where I sewed through the combs, and then I'm just snipping off the end after after I'm done. And then you want to go to the next end and sew the same way. Here we're slowing it down just to show you how I stick the needle through the comb, pull that straight through, and then as I stick it through the second time, I double wrap the thread around the needle to create a knot and make it more secure so that these do not fall off or over time loosen up. You can see I'm double wrapping the thread around that, which creates the knot, and then pulling that needle directly through. If you can create a stitch, you can do these clip-ins. They are super, super, super easy. And I do about 6 of these little double knots on each clip-in, and then I am done. Again, you want to pull it through, double knot, pull it through, double knot, and pull. And that's essentially it. It's pretty darn easy. And if you do not seal your wefts, you will have this little gap. I don't mind that, but if you do, you can always glue that together. Now we're going to start on the 3-clip clip. We already have 1 clip in, and then you want to make sure you pull the track taut, and then before you sew in the middle clip, you don't want any gaps, or you don't want it to be uneven. You want it to be as flat as possible. So here I just pull that really tight after attaching the first clip, again starting with the end that is open, work my way up, sew it in the middle clip, and then after that is done, we're going to pull it tight again, and then we're going to sew in the very last clip to the folded edge. Are done. This is our set of clip-ins, so stay tuned and I will show you how I install them. I've just thrown some quick curls in these clip-ins using my flat iron, and that's it. This is literally a 5-minute hairdo. It takes me about maybe 2 minutes to put in the clip-ins, about 3 to 4 minutes to curl my hair, and I am literally out the door. It's perfect because all I gotta do is take these out at night, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, get ready for work, slap these in, and I am ready to go. It's so much better than the sew-in. It looks like a full-on sew-in, and these are clip-ins that you made at home. So before you leave, do me a favor. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And again, please leave in the description box any suggestions, anything else that you want to see, hair reviews, makeup, you name it. Just let me know below. Also, do not forget to check out some of my other videos, especially my Ancestry DNA video. That one was quite interesting. I will have that all linked below. And thank you guys again for your support, and I will see you in my next video.